I want to come to you guys live with my WWE Great Balls of Fire review. So let's get right into it. To start off, the Great Balls of Fire pre-show, you had Neville versus Akira Tozawa for the Cruiserweight Championship. This was a pretty decent match between Akira Tozawa and Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship tonight on the pre-show for Great Balls of Fire. It was pretty decent. It wasn't the greatest match. It wasn't a good match. It was a decent match for what it was. I wasn't really all that into it. Neville ended up going over on Akira Tozawa tonight at the Great Balls of Fire pre-show, and Neville ended up retaining his Cruiserweight Championship tonight over Akira Tozawa in the pre-show for Great Balls of Fire. So Neville and Akira Tozawa had a pretty decent, cruiserweight match. This was pretty decent. It wasn't a great match. It wasn't a good match. It was decent. And you had Neville ended up retaining his Cruiserweight Championship over Akira Tozawa tonight at Great Balls of Fire on the pre-show. Now, let's get right into the first match. It was, the first match was Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. You have Bray Wyatt ended up going over on Seth Rollins in a pretty good match. These two had a good match. I enjoyed this match between Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins tonight at Great Balls of Fire. I thought this was a pretty good match. I thought it was pretty decent. I was into it. It was kind of fun to watch. These two had a pretty good match tonight at Great Balls of Fire. I thought this was a pretty decent match tonight between Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins. These two had a decent match tonight at Great Balls of Fire. And Bray Wyatt picks up a surprising win over Seth Rollins tonight at Great Balls of Fire by hitting Sister Abigail on Seth Rollins for the win. 1, 2, 3. Bray Wyatt hit Sister Abigail on Seth Rollins and picks up the win tonight at Great Balls of Fire in a pretty good match between him and Seth Rollins tonight at Great Balls of Fire. And then you had the Hardy Boys versus Sheamus and Cesaro in a 30-minute Iron Man match. This was the best match of the night in my book. I thought this 30-minute Iron Man match was the best match of the night. I thought this match was pretty good. This match was fun to watch. I was into it. I was on the edge of my seat for this match with Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy versus Sheamus and Cesaro in this 30-minute Iron Man match for the Tag Team Championships. So tonight you had Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus and Cesaro tonight at Great Balls of Fire in a 30-minute Iron Man match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Cesaro and Sheamus picked up the first two falls, and then Sheamus and Cesaro picked up another fall. The last two falls went to the Hardy Boys, and then Sheamus and Cesaro picked up the last fall, and Sheamus and Cesaro ended up retaining their Raw Tag Team Championships tonight at Great Balls of Fire over the Hardy Boys in a pretty good match. The Hardy Boys and Sheamus and Cesaro had a epic, pretty good match tonight at Great Balls of Fire in this 30-man. The Hardy Boys and Sheamus ended up having a great match in this 30-minute Iron Man match tonight at Great Balls of Fire. And you had Sheamus and Cesaro ended up retaining their Raw Tag Team Championships over the Hardy Boys in this 30-minute Iron Man match tonight at Great Balls of Fire. The Hardy Boys and Sheamus and Cesaro had a good match tonight at Great Balls of Fire in the tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Championships